You're listening to the M.A.V. Show, episode number 16, review of Gleipnir and Darwin's Game. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the M.A.V. Show.
Welcome back. Thank you for coming back.
Thank y'all for coming back. I am King Vante, KV for short.
I'm your co-host, little brother Ohio gozaimasu.
Yeah, guys, this is where we talk about manga, anime, and video games. And today, you guys,
we're going to be doing our first review of two different animes.
Two different ones, man. But before we jump on all that, before, how you been, little brother?
I've been all right, just chilling, doing me, doing whatever I can to just move along.
I feel you. Nothing new, no.
As of now, new, I am, other than, no.
Nothing?
Yo, COVID kind of prevents me from doing anything that I want to do.
COVID prevents us from doing a lot of things, and since I was already a little bit antisocial, it just complements my day.
For you, maybe. For me, I want to go out, have fun, do stuff with friends, maybe. And I can't do that now.
I feel it, though. But I heard you were getting back into manga, though.
I wouldn't say I'm getting back into manga as much as I saw manga on Webtoon called The Boxer. And so far, so good. I only got to see like the 10 pages or 10 books, or I'm not so sure how you want to call that.
So like you only got to see like the first chapter?
I mean, not all of it, no.
What?
I mean, you get what you can get. So far, they only got the 10 episodes or 10 pages.
So you only get like the first chapter of. They don't even have like the first couple of chapters out.
No, they're fairly new.
Okay, I feel you.
All right. So how about you, man? How about you?
I've been steadily working, just staying cool, staying out of trouble. I'd be like so close to be getting pulled over, and I feel like I'm one of the people who contributes to Arizona being like the worst place or the worst state for like drivers.
We're 6 out of 10.
Really? We're in the top 6 out of... Hey, okay, Arizona, I see you.
That's not good. We're the top 6 worst driver out of 50 states. We are 6th as the 6th worst state to drive in.
But how many car accidents have you ever got into?
I personally not got into any because I try to be as careful as I can. But it's more of a watch out for everybody else on the road. But no, I haven't really gotten into an accident.
Exactly. And I've probably only been in one accident my whole entire life too, and that was almost 10 years ago. But and once you guys, and again, I don't condone speeding, but man, once you have a nice good sports car, and little brother, when you get your Challenger one day, hopefully soon, it's gonna be very hard not to. Cause my Dodge Charger, I do love hitting that sports mode button. Just
I promise you, I will do my best to resist. I'm not a speeder to begin with. Only time I need to speed is when I'm getting late to somewhere.
But it is fun though, and I don't do it all the time, guys. But when I do make sure, I'm in the HOV lane, nobody's by me, and I'm just take off time.
Take off.
Take off.
If you don't know who that is, look up the Migos. All right, but you kind of ready to get into today?
Man, I am so ready because we just got done really kind of finishing up
Gleipnir.
I forgot the name.
But I do want to go ahead and give everybody a little bit of a reminder. If you could go ahead and give us that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, go ahead and give us your review. We're going to go ahead and review 2 different animes today. Give us your feedback and see what you
and see what help us, guys. Help us out. That's what I'm saying.
I need help with that sentence.
Help me. Help.
because I'm not gonna lie, I have strong feelings about the two animes that we're looking at today, and I'm pretty sure you got some strong feelings too.
Man, and so once again, can we start with Gleipnir since we just finished? I mean, like, so we both kind of pre-watched them, but kind of going back over again. Like, yo, Gleipnir, you guys. Oh my gosh.
So Gleipnir, if you haven't known, it is, let's say it stars with our main character named Shuichi.
Shuichi.
Shuichi, Kayaga Shuichi, and he is your normal average day everyday high school student. One day, but he has his secret actually. He's kind of just living his life. One day he sees a fire on the mountain, and he does to see what he can do or what he can do to help.
Pause. So before all that, what does he say? I'm your normal high school student. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Except
so he says that
except for some reason I could turn into this dog / werewolf type of thing.
It's somewhere in the middle. He's a dog / werewolf costume, but as he gets to this fire, that's when you first see him turn into this dog werewolf / costume looking thing.
Don't you see him turn to it before a little bit?
Mm-mm.
Sure?
Yeah, because this was like the big moment why he even needed to use his powers to begin with. He goes in when he goes up to this fire. He kind of smells somebody in there, so he wants to help, and he ends up rescuing this girl. She kind of like she was playing pretend, and she kind of like realized, oh, some monster thing just saved me, and she kind of like blackmails him into revealing that his power is what he can do, but little barreling down further, they kind of work a deal out, and they'll try to work together to achieve their goal, which is collect these coins that pretty much, if you bring it up to a vending machine and also to an alien who can give you powers.
Dun, dun, dun,
I was going to say.
But yeah, so just like my little brother said, man, Gleipnir, you guys, is really a. I would have not thought it at first. It's a little bit of horror, it's a little bit of action, and definitely a lot of mystery in it. And
big graphic.
Yeah, and so it being surrounded, like two main characters really is Shuichi and Claire. Claire's the girl he goes and saves in the fire, and from there, their main goal is to find Elena. Elena is Claire's older sister who killed her parents 2 years ago.
I believe it was about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 or 1.
And this is where the story kind of really picks up and takes off. And they happen to meet an alien at a vending machine saying, yeah, I'm the one who kind of gives you guys these powers. You and multiple other people. And if you guys bring me these magical little coins.
About 100 of them.
About 100 of them. I will grant you any wish you can.
Even though when you get the first coin, you pretty much get a wish off the bat like that.
Yeah, this is where you kind of get your first power. So I'm thinking, what else could you kind of wish for after you have your power?
And we should have said in the beginning of it, spoiler warning for all this. If you,
yeah, sorry you guys. Yeah, it's definitely big spoiler warning for even Darwin's game that are next one up.
But for me, it was like, no, not even for me. But when you meet this alien, you realize his backstory is he was riding on a spaceship, and then something went wrong. He ended up crash landing on Earth, but these special coins got scattered pretty much, I want to just say all over Japan, because they don't really say all over the world.
I don't say all over. So yeah, so him and his companions, comrades, friends.
That he doesn't like.
He doesn't care for it, remember? He was like, well, we're all immortal, so we kind of stopped progressing. He was like, life just kind of got a little bit boring. But yeah, he sends out a mission. Everybody kind of comes and finds him or finds these coins. They end up seeing him at the vending machine, which is really weird because it's not like these coins is a beacon or...
Right. It's not like a little compass and guide showing you where the vending machine is. But somehow everybody knows to go to the Mythos Hotel. And apparently it's an abandoned hotel that the alien you'll just see him chilling on a couch there, and he's just like waiting. Oh, hello, you brought one of my coins. Well, here's your reward. And it's like a little, what they actually said what he said in the beginning was the aliens is medicine to them, that's just like their potions or whatever that helps them. But to humans, it gives them unique abilities.
Yep, and unique abilities, like everybody has like some unique abilities, but unique ability actually surrounds a specific set of rules. So
conditions, guidelines.
Yeah, all that. It centers around, and I'm trying to kind of find the words for it. Whatever power you really want. And at the time you might take the medicine or the little special drink. If you don't really know what you want, whatever you think you might want, deep down in your subconscious will come out.
Basically, if I'm thinking like, I really like fire, I've always wanted to work with fireworks, I like pyrotechnics, I might be like Bakugo and I might have explosion powers. But if I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I guess I'll just drink this drink, and then, but I'm not really thinking, I might have a telescope for a head, because secretly down below, I like spying on people, as in one character does get.
Which was really, really weird. He's one of those perfect characters, guys, and every anime has one of those little weird peeping toms. There's some characters who, once again, like when they didn't really specify what they wanted their minds at the time of drinking it, so one girl was really good with animals, and she kind of always wanted to speak with animals. So that eventually kind of became her power.
Right.
After looking like a cat.
Which is okay, I guess. Well, she didn't really look like a cat. She just had cat ears.
Point proven. Okay. Another guy became, the flower guy. The flower guy was a little weird.
The florist guy, yeah.
So he loved gardening and watering flowers and spending all his days with flowers. His natural ability, or his special power, became to grow plants at any time he wanted to.
Pretty much. But he also had that weird, and this is where the anime kind of like does it. If you got to kind of break it down, because it's weird. So you would have your normal base form, so your human form, and then most people would have like a secondary form, like the flower guy. He could grow plants and everything, like when he's human, but he could transform into, I don't know what to describe it. I guess he looked like a giant dog human beast. But without the snout. Yeti, that's a better one. A Yeti. He looked like a Yeti.
Yeah. So most people, once again, like if you really don't know, something in your subconscious will form. Most people turn into monsters, demons, weird looking goblins.
A dude ended up, I guess he just wanted strength, but nothing
or power.
Specific. Yeah, he just wanted strength or power. So he ended up turning into a black giant muscle bound skeleton thing with swords for arms.
Yeah, almost like you said, he don't look like a demon. So it's like a demon with like sword hands, and you're just like, what?
Like, that's what you wanted? And my man's just swinging around saying like, yes, I achieved the power that I wanted. And I'm like, oh, okay. You wanted to look like a black skeleton? I don't care. I got the power. All right, you do you, bud. You do you.
And I'm not sure how much we really want to delve into the story. After getting to episode 13, guys, the mystery and the background that this whole story had completely blew my mind.
So it was weird just how they like it was, I won't even say weird. So my brother and I kind of like started I watched all the way up to episode 10, and then we both watched from 10 to 13, and just within those 3 episodes, it dropped ball after ball, and we were just like, wait, what? And Nani?
Nani? But yeah, like, it was just so much stuff kept on happening, and like pieces of the puzzle, and it was almost like, even though they kept on giving you a little bit and bit, he only kept on asking more questions about what was happening. Just what's really going on with the powers, and what started all of this, and who's the first person to really meet the alien and get their wish granted and everything. And
a lot of the past comes out in the later episodes, and you understand on how did Xyerci kind of get his powers. You understand on like you said, who ended up first meeting the alien, and that request for the first wish. Even the aliens are like, are you sure? Like, I'm not so like. Should we even talk about that? Like,
I don't want to go too far into that because I really want to recommend this one to people because it was really really good, and Shuichi not knowing his past memories also plays a really really gigantic huge part in this, and so it's just once you find that thirst, once they start answering some of your questions, you're like, okay, cool. So what about this other part? So it's like they answer one question, you come up with five. They answer four of your questions, you come out and you have like another 10. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I was like, wait a minute. So what about this person? This person? What about Elena? What about her powers? And you know, what was her real intentions? You know, is she really trying to go after the 100 coins? And okay, what about Shurichi? You know, what does his powers really mean? And why can he do this and that and not this and that? And then you try to figure out why do other people are weak and strong, and it's just so many different things. You're just like, wow, okay.
and don't worry about like character development. I would say it has. I wouldn't say that the biggest character development, but you definitely see Shuichi kind of go from a passive type of nature to a slightly aggressive nature into okay, I'm just done with everybody's crap.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's really docile at the beginning. Then kind of goes through that. Okay, I'm at the point where I can do what needs to be done sometimes, and then going to the point where, screw it, everybody can get it. Everybody can get the smoke.
uh, what's her name? Claire. She's kind of she's a straight arrow through the whole thing. She's pretty much I'm the dominant factor, and if you get in my way, I will deal with you as needed to be.
Yeah, so she's like the methodical one in the group. You always have that one smart person, kind of helping out the character who's shy and you know can't really do what needs to be done. So if somebody needs offing or killing, Claire comes in and kind of handles that problem.
Yes, and I kind of want to go over the power type of just a quick like overview. So as we said before, Shuichi's he's kind of like a dog wolf, but he's also like part costumes. He has a zipper on his back that Claire often jumps into him, and they kind of become as one.
And so what we mean by this, people, is that he's really like a costume, right? Where anyone can kind of jump into the back of him, and when somebody opens up the back of him, it is a little weird.
It's nothing, but it's nothing. It's imagine the inside of a human, but without all the organs.
Yeah, it's a little. You're like,
And once again, graphic because the first time she kind of dives into him, it gets intimate, I guess.
I would say it's definitely etchy.
Yeah,
Rated
so...
R. It's definitely rated R. Between the graphics, killing, and the possible nudity, pretty much.
Yeah, but his power specifically is a bit interesting, just because another female kind of jumps into his body, and she's trying to control him, trying to help out. But at some point, they don't only just become one person controlling the other. They kind of ultimately fuse and become one, not just two beings, but one individual being, and their power just increase exponentially.
Yeah, once again, that left a lot more questions because when Claire jumps into him, they're like she's only really able to take control of his body per se,
Right.
even to a certain extent, but she's able to once again help him do the things he's not really capable of doing. And then from there, when this other girl kind of jumped into him, he morphed into something totally different. You guys want to see this to like the eighth, ninth episode, but and like I said, that right there left a lot of questions because we didn't see nothing like that really until like the last episode, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, just when him and Claire kind of were on one accord. Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The fight scenes in this is pretty dope too.
Like, action is right there alongside with the mystery and drama and all. But that's what I kind of like get into. Him, his power itself is very interesting. I want to see how far they'll take it, because if he can fuse with just about anybody as long as they're on sync, then who knows whose power he can just like take to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Okay, another person's power, the next person you see who kind of uses their power is this girl. I didn't really get her name. I was trying to look for it. They most likely said it, but she's the girl who like she gives you a hint as your first hint as to what these coin situation is about. She was a track star. She wanted to be the fastest girl at the moment, and then when she kind of like was slow, she found a coin, found the vending machine, and then she got her wish to be a lot faster, but at the cost of like kind of morphing her body just a little. She really only had her arms and legs kind of like turn beast like, I want to say. And then but she ends up like overhearing Claire and Shuichi talking about the coin. She kind of like stalks them, tries to rob them for their coin, and they kind of get into a tussle and they fight back and forth. And remember how Claire is the get her done type of chick?
Claire pulled out a gun and shot the chick.
She did more than that. She broke her legs.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what happens during the fight. Things get broken, people get beaten up, people get shot.
But I would say, I just kind of described her power. It just says enhance arms and legs. Like I said, her arms and legs got beastie. She was able to hit harder, run faster, and all such. And then you have people with other powers, such as like there was Monaco, or
Maako or something.
Yeah, he was like this leader of this like group of just people with all these abilities who just didn't want to, they just wanted to do whatever they want to have fun.
Yeah, it was basically like, yo, we're gonna get the 100 coins, grant the wish of, so we can have money, cars, women, power, fame, and all the other stuff.
The leader himself, which is Monaco or something like that, he's actually pretty tough. Like it was weird because he didn't have anything super super special other than I just kind of like gave it a name. I just call it Gorilla. He would basically transform into just a big ape-like monster.
Yeah, he was very strong, very sturdy,
pretty fast at it too.
Yeah, I was surprised, but it was the craziest thing, and I like this guy. Like, I would probably put him one of like my top 10 villains.
Really?
Yes, and it's not because of his strength. It was because of how he resonated with all his other followers behind him, and he was like, because like what most people. Like when a follower tries to go in and attack like the main characters, group and everything and fail, the bad guy leader would come in and kill him and be like, we have no use for weaklings. He was like, man, they really beat you up. They broke your jaw, broke your teeth. And you have all the underlings like, you know what? Kill him, finish him off. We don't need no more. He was annoying. He was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he pulls out a tooth from his own mouth, and he was like, yo, I share your pain. He was like, whatever happens to you happens to me. And he was like, that goes to the rest of you. He was like, yo, we are in a band together. He was like, yo, he's like, I'm with y'all to the end. And he just looks at his enemies like, I'm going to go get revenge for you now. And everybody just takes off of like the main characters grouping them, and you're just like, wow. And this even transformed into a little bit later where the forest was on fire, and instead of getting away, some of his like lieutenants in the group was like, yo, leader, you have to get away. You have to get away first. And he was like, why would I do that? He's like, I told you guys. He was like, I'm here for you. He's like, I'm gonna make sure you guys get out. You see them picking up his passed out teammates and everything again. I won't go too much past that part. I don't want to give too much more warnings, but you never see this in animes where the main I don't want to say main bad guy, right, but one of the bad guys of like a certain gang shows compassion towards his followers. He's not like he's throwing his people away, but he's more of a like he cares. Like he really cares about his people, and I was just surprised. I was like, wow, like he really inspired a lot of loyalty from his gang. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, he kind of built that whole loyalty type of situation. Like, I'm not so sure if he even meant to do it on purpose, but like, if I built a loyal group, they're loyal to me. They're not just gonna up and do whatever. They're not gonna try to do an uproar, or what's the other word I'm looking for?
Uprising or a coup.
Coup d'etat. Just like they won't try to overthrow him because
or backstab him.
Yeah, they love him. And that's what he built, which is very dangerous if you are going against somebody. If they have loyal subjects who will do anything for them, You better hope that you're just the stronger party.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'm gonna just go over the next two quick. Somebody in a group that Shuichi's group that he kind of meets a little later down the road. The guy kind of had strength, and because his power kind of related to him because he got into school fights all the time, and I guess he was just a fighter.
Yeah, he's kind of wanted. He doesn't even say he wanted to be stronger, but subconsciously, I guess that's something he might have wanted.
Right. And then the last one I'm gonna go over is Elena's power, which I guess hers is never truly explained.
It really is. You don't know what she's capable of doing because it seems like anything that comes out, she's just able to do it. Like you didn't know she was able to block memories.
Yeah, you didn't know she was able to just go into a shadow phantom style. Like she just has like it just seems like endless amount of power.
OP power a little bit.
Really, she's like stronger than average. She's quicker than the average. Like, and in a couple of fights you see between Shuichi Claire versus Elena, you see that they're like together all like when they're all fighting back and forth. They're tearing it up, man.
Yeah.
The fight scenes in here aren't lackluster. The fight scenes in here are pretty decent from the first fight scene to the last fight scene of the season. Honestly, are just like
What's crazy is I'm not sure how long this anime will be since it came out in
March.
well, no, well, yeah, it started in March. The manga started in 2015. I kind of want to go and look it up and see like how long it is because I want to know if are we gonna be looking forward to a second season? Are we gonna be looking forward to like a third season or something? I want to know how long it's really gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems almost like it's gonna be something like closely related to a manga I remember called Dungeon Seeker.
Okay.
And that one right there was a pretty quick one. It was like 33 chapters. Probably could be done in one full season. It was a pretty quick to the point start. It was like an isekai start, finish, middle, and game over. And so I was like, wow, something very entertaining for like 3 days. But it was great. It was a great manga.
Mm.
So I'm kind of wondering if this is gonna be like that too.
And that would make me upset too because I can't tell you how many times I've seen an anime that starts and then it builds its cliffhanger, like it knows it's gonna be like watch for next time on this or look for us in the next season. But I can't tell you how many times I've been looking for it, and it turns out we canceled it because we didn't get enough funding or whatever. So I would hate to see them have a cliffhanger just to be told it's canceled, but I mean, and it's weird because this hasn't gotten a following yet. This hasn't really gotten like a bunch of people just flocking to it saying, "Yo, watch Gleipnir, watch Gleipnir."
Not 100, not a super big following. I think it'll start showing up just because of how weird it is a little bit. And usually when I look it up online, that's all I hear people say about it. Oh, it's weird and oh, it's different. I'm like, well, that's a good thing because it grabs a certain type of audience.
You don't want the same thing ever over and over again.
Yeah, like you don't want the same thing over and over. And it definitely, like, if it catches you, oh, it pulls you into the story. And even though I think between like episodes 4 and 10, it definitely drags a little bit because they could have really did without some of that other parts. Like it was really lame.
Yeah,
I personally think so. The last three for the season so far. Hopefully, once again, we're only on episode 13. We don't know if any more's gonna come out late next week, but from what it is so far, like man.
and if you're curious, KV looked up what Gleipnir was. What was it?
It was supposed to be Fenrir's ribbon.
And if you don't know who Fenrir is the I would say god of destruction in a way. He was a Norse god. He's just a giant wolf. If you ever seen in Norse mythology or
son of Loki.
Yeah, if you look at Thor Ragnarok, they kind of give like a hint to him or a shout out. He was just a giant wolf in there, but I remember Fenrir being like a werewolf type of deal, but that's up to debate.
And it was kind of crazy just the MC being a character with a costume that's a hybrid between a dog and a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And I can almost see how the show's creator was trying to make a connection between Gleipnir, which was like a ribbon to hold Fenrir at bay,
Mm-hmm.
and how the main character is being held at bay, either from him losing his memories or
going all out.
Not even necessarily going all out, because even if he was to go all out, it's not one of those type where he has to go all out. Well, it could be. We don't know that yet.
We
Hold
don't
on.
know.
Yeah, we don't know that part yet. But I think it's just more of this anime is gonna probably come out with a lot of it'll end with a lot of truth coming out. About what's going on and what's really happening versus one of those epic fighting endings kind of ish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I would rather see, and it's really good. But guys, really, really check the show out. So far, I would give this show a strong 8 out of 10, 8.5.
Don't act like you didn't say what you said before.
Maybe a 9 out of 10.
He said a 9, and I'm look. I'm not trying to downgrade this anime because it's good. It's very mysterious. It has the action factor. It has. I
want the next week's episode right now, and this is why I believe it deserves such a high grade, because even though we usually enjoy anime or manga or whatever, a video game, usually you always want the next one to come out. And usually you're patient to wait for it. But with this one, I'm like, yo, I have to know what the heck is going on. I'm like, yo, what's the mystery between everybody? Why doesn't Xyerci have his memories? Or what's the real problem between him and Claire's older sister Elaine? I'm like, yo, I need to know that now.
And that's a point taken. Point for you. But I don't know what holds me back other than, I guess, I'm a big power scaling guy. We made a whole episode on it. The powers in here are very your own personal base off of no powers in here have been too crazy other than Elaine's pretty much. I guess I'm a power scale guy, so I really want to see some epic powers or whatever. But I would give you your second grade. I'd give this either a 7.5 or an 8.
I don't know. Once again, I think you also need to see the ending too and see how it kind of finishes off, how it tops off. You'll definitely get your epic fight scene. You won't get over the top powers in this one because remember, it's only based off of the power people want.
As far as our power scaling, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and go back to episode, I want to say 10 or so. Go ahead. We kind of would base these guys as superhumans, and that's kind of a
C level? C or D level?
It's DC level, about around there. You're superhuman, so you can't, destroy buildings or mountains or anything like that.
They can destroy buildings, but not mountains.
Yeah, they're not a calamity type of disaster, or if we don't solve this now, they could possibly kill the human race. They're not like that, but they got their fair share of powers. Actually, there's one kid who has his parents as his power. And
he has his dead parents or something. And
we're gonna hold it there because if you want to see what we mean by that, it's actually very interesting. It's actually very creepy. Check out Gleipnir. Check it out. Check
out Gleipnir, everybody. It is crazy. We were watching it real quick on YouTube.
You could watch it on YouTube.
Funimation as well.
Funimation, because it is funded by. It's solely funded by Funimation, isn't it?
Really?
I believe so. I might be wrong about that. I'll look it up. But YouTube, honestly, is a good place to watch it. So if you're okay with that, go ahead and check it out on YouTube.
Check it out. And then, little brother, our next one up is one. So my little brother recommended Gleipnir. He's the first one to seen it, and I got on it, and I really loved it. The one I want to bring to him is Darwin's Game.
And if you haven't seen this, we'll just say right now, you can watch it on Hulu. Can you watch it on Netflix, or is it just on Hulu so far?
Just on Hulu so far. I have not seen it on Netflix.
You could. Oh, I actually just saw you can watch it on Crunchyroll.
Oh wow. Okay. But yeah, I think we mostly watch it on Hulu. So Darwin's Game is about a guy named Kaname Sudo. One day he's introduced. He gets a message from his friend, invite to play this game called Darwin's Game. After he installs or uploads this game, a snake kind of jumps out of his phone and bites him on the neck. He's like, "What the heck?"
Like an Ekans?
We're not gonna go there. We're definitely not gonna go there. He freaks out of class, but like nobody notices. Later on during the day, he seems to get set up in a match, and all hell kind of breaks loose. He is instantly targeted by this guy in a baseball uniform suit and a panda head. Yeah, like a panda head, trying to kill him. And during this time, he doesn't really know what's going on. So a fellow classmate kind of comes in and tries to let him know, hey, you're in this thing called Darwin's game, and to survive, you gotta kill the other person or you gotta make them surrender. There's no way you're trying to make a psychopath called a rookie hunter trying to make you surrender. It's just not gonna happen.
We're named Banda.
Yeah, we're named Banda. So during this time, unfortunately, his friend dies, and
I think his friend's name was not Hamada. Yeah, it was Hamada.
Because he had two friends. One of them died, and
the one friend
that's the one who was trying to invite him to the game, and the second friend is the one who helped him during the fight, and he died.
Yamada is the one who helped him during the fight. Koyoda, I think. Koyoda is the one who sent them the friend request, and he has one more friend named Shizuku. Shinozuku.
You can't read your own handwriting. God dang.
No, I can't read Japanese.
Yeah.
Look I gotta take up Japanese classes.
Guys,
okay?
You can't read his own handwriting.
It's hard.
And so he barely, luckily, survives his first win. Going up against the rookie hunter, barely wins. But he still doesn't know too much or anything about Darwin's game. He just knows that it was a game that killed two of his friends, and he's like, "What? Oh my God!" He doesn't know. So he meets up with another player of Darwin's game. This woman called Shuka. Also called the Thorn Queen by the other players,
or the Undefeated Queen.
She kind of lets him know, hey, meet me at this warehouse, and
I'll answer some of your questions.
Yeah, I'll answer some of your questions. Meets her there, and they kind of go a little bit back and forth, and he gets in a fight with her.
More like a beat down. She was kind of controlling that fight for the most part.
Oh yeah, mostly was. And when he kind of barely got the upper hand with her towards the last little bit, and this is where he kind of found out where his sigil was. A sigil is basically a power.
Is that what it's called?
Sigil, yeah.
I kept calling it sigil.
It's sigil. They said it was sigil.
I kept calling it sigil the whole time.
So during this time, he learns that everybody gets a certain power called a sigil, and a sigil can be basically anything. Kaname finds out that his sigil is the forge. He can create any weapon. I'm not sure if it's any weapon that he thinks of or any weapon he has previously touched.
I'm almost positive that it's anything that he thinks of. Like, I don't think he's ever seen that sword at this one point that he was fighting somebody, and he ends up pulling it out of nowhere, and even the guy's like, interesting, you're pulling out swords and guns at me? That's cool, like, very creative.
Shuka, she can control her chains.
I think she said it was anything that's, like, linked together as string-like. Anything like of a string substance, and that included chains. Like her words, not mine.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I definitely missed that part. And his friends actually had a sigil where one of them could see infrared light.
Yeah, that was the Hanada.
Yeah,
Hanada. It was kind of like aura.
His aura? I thought it was like body heat.
I did kind of the same thing. And then in this sense, it is. I'm not saying that they are, but like I think in this sense, it was like same thing.
Okay, and then even with the rookie hunter, his sigil was turning invisible. So everybody has a certain sigil. You don't get to choose. It's either you got a useful one or you don't.
Or you just got something like one guy had truth or lie. He's like basically a lie detector. You can tell if you're telling the truth or a lie.
Yeah. So kind of going from this point on, I think during this time, him and Shuka form alliance, and they start working together. And so it was due to her losing to him. Or surrendering.
It was she kind of like she didn't. Well, I don't want to say she understood him, one, she thought in the beginning that she kind of like thought he was kind of cute, but that didn't play into her main decision. But he got the upper hand on her in the fight, and she just found him interesting. So she's like, "Yeah, I'll help you out."
Yeah. And so during further events into Darwin's game where you can win more points or special privileges,
Mm-hmm.
uh, this is where they really start teaming up, and this is where you start getting a better grasp of everybody else's guilds, alliances, and everything else.
You don't know if this is a group of people that are, maybe 20, 30 people, 40 people, but no, it turns out it's like anybody who's seen this app and who's pressed continue to play the game, then everybody who's pressed it's game on.
Yeah, so if you're not careful, kids, adults, bad people, good people, anybody can be like, a part of this game. And so during this event that they like both get kind of dragged into, this is where you start seeing like other people once again, like the bad guys and
You see the boxer kid, like there's a whole fighting martial arts type of guild. You see that there's this group called Ace. They're one of the top clans around Darwin's game, and they do whatever they want, whatever they please. They're just like whatever clans that there are. They're all a bunch of peoples. They're a bunch of individual players, such as like the rookie hunter, and uh, how do I describe this?
I think that's kind of it for clans. I mean, they hint that there's a lot of them, but those are kind of like the main two that they really
you
kind of
don't really see anybody else
yeah.
other than the clan that our main character eventually forms himself.
Yeah. And so once again, during this event, everybody's supposed to find these rings or whatever, and so it's almost like a big expedition match. Only a certain level of players are really into this match, but any outside players can probably intervene, which kind of comes in a little bit later. So kind of may actually kind of get stuck in this hotel or company building. It looks like
It was a hotel.
yeah, like a hotel. And this is where he meets
Ren.
Ren.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ren or Ryuji?
It's
Ryuji.
he meets Ryuji too, but he runs into no, I actually lied. He meets Ryuji, but they are really on opposing sides. And then literally shortly after, like not even 10 seconds after, he meets Ren, who is also known as the analyst. She's known as the analyst because she's she analyzes everything, and she's like the big information distributor. Did I say that?
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Yeah, so she's like the big info giver outer.
Basically, but he meets Ryuji on opposing sides. They kind of go their separate ways, and then immediately meeting Ren, and then they kind of agree amongst each other. Let's be partners and let's team up at least just to get out of this hotel.
Yeah. Fast forward, they notice that they're kind of stuck into this hotel by one another player who's called the florist, and he's had flowers or tree trunks kind of blocking stairways and elevators and all this other type of stuff.
Dude really set it up to his favor. Like if he couldn't have landed nowhere better, because he also landed in like a computer room where he had all the security tapes and all that. He basically, that event was basically set up for him.
That area was really set up for him to win, kind of really. But even going from here, you see both of Kaname and Rand battle out with some of the other players. Luckily, they do kind of meet up with the florist, kind of battle them head on, and ultimately end up like, yo, we all need to team up. They also kind of meet up with Ryuji now.
Ryuji is the florist had, there's all sorts of plants out there. Apparently, he had a plant that could control the minds, and he was controlling Ryuji's mind. And then, events happen. He let it go, the controlling spell, whatever. And they kind of meet Ryuji. They kind of talk it over. Ryuji just really wants to get going into a fight with Ace. The whole clan of Ace and Wang, and we forgot to mention, Wang is the leader of the Ace guild.
Oh yeah, he is. And once again, guys, everybody has their own special sigil. The florist is basically control plants. Renz was once again be able to analyze a lot of information.
No. Renz was, I basically put it down as clairvoyance. She's able to see I want to say 5 seconds into the future.
I thought it was more like she's able to analyze everything such in a way. I mean, if you want to be technical,
they really span this out because she talked about what was it? She talked about some demon being able to like go forward or something. Lampus, I think it was. Like they basically called Lampus a supercomputer and all that. They did this whole explanation just to say, yes, I have clairvoyance. I can see into the future a few seconds and use it to my advantage.
Analytical wise, though,
and like unnecessarily though, like just say you can see,
no
just
You're right.
say you can see into the future.
Yeah, they try to do it over the top explanation. It's okay. Just say what she has, and we're all just gonna accept it and move on with our lives. And Ryuji is the one who had the powers to find out if you're lying or telling the truth. So he's really almost like a human, and trying to fight up against everybody else here who has like superpowers.
Exactly. Like that's when your powers may suck, and he thought his powers sucked too.
Oh yeah, yes he did. He was like, it was only twice. He was like, thank God, for this power,
right?
But after they all decide to team up, Ace, the Guild Ace, just is really out there winning the battle. Wang is sending a big group of members who are in the event and that are outside of the event to go attack the hotel that Kaname and everybody else is in.
Which is cheating, to be honest.
It really was. Kaname's goal was to back up with Shuka because she got teleported on a different side of the map. She was already coming to meet up with Kaname. And this is really where you kind of start seeing a lot of different events play off at one part. And so just to skip off a lot of it, and not to give up a lot of too many things.
It was just a bunch of them fighting all at one point, only to come together in the end.
Yeah, and we're just gonna go with that. So now you got, like I say, it's just because a lot of different things happen. We don't want to give out too many spoilers. We don't want to do like a deep dive episode per episode. We're kind of giving you guys the meat and potatoes.
But you just, I would say, let's go with the whole power scaling aspect of this whole thing. Like you said before, it really is. You don't get a choice in it. You don't really get to say like how Gleipnir is. It goes off of your own, like, I would say, self-interest or whatever you feel
Not
like.
even self-interest, because once again, Kaname, he didn't have.
No, that's what I mean. Like the last one did, but this one has totally, like, it's totally randomized.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's totally randomized. It's either you got something good or you got something bad. You don't get a choice.
And his is okay. So I'm gonna say my rating early. I give this anime a solid 8.5. I give it a solid 7.5, almost an 8 out of 10, because I don't like how he's so minimal with his power. It really is, and you've told me this, it really is, if you are imaginative with your ability, if you know how to work it, then you'll be successful with it. What's his name? Kaname? He just says, okay, I can make any weapon appear into my hands at any time. I'm gonna get a gun. I'm gonna get a pistol. I'm gonna get a gun. I'm gonna get a pistol. I'm gonna throw a grenade. Gun, pistol, frag grenade, gun, pistol. Like, dude, make something useful.
I mean, once again, he probably, like I said, he needs to probably hit up a weapon master, see some new different guns, because he only kind of even brings up even like little mini machine guns or Uzis and stuff. And I'm thinking, like, bro, like you got to do something better if you're really gonna try to take on everybody else.
It's just like, dude, you could. Okay, I know if he brought up a sword, it's just a sword because he's only human, but you could do so much more with it.
So just like how like the Flores had the ability to control all the plants and stuff.
He built an armor out of plants. Like he was close to looking to like a reptile or something like that.
Oh yeah, we see members of Ace being able to control fire, being telekinetic. Wayne, telekinetic. Wayne has a power called Beelzebub, and he could teleport.
Cheating. Not the teleportation part. Cheating. So you were gonna get confused because at least when I first started watching it and I saw him take out like this mafia group or whatever, he's just slicing them like with no problem, like as if his hands are swords. And I'm like, oh Jesus, I wonder why he's the top villain in this so far. But it turns out he's a teleporter, and I'm like, so what's with the whole slicing thing? He's just a natural, like, that's just, like, apparently he's learned this technique where he could just slice everything like a sword. Because did you remember him slicing stuff?
Yeah, shenanigans. So first off, shenanigans. Throw a flag here on the play. No. I think they kind of even more explain it that like he's doing some type of thing with the teleportation or so. Like they did kind of go in a little bit of detail about what was going on there, but it was still weird because even with his Beelzebub power, and once again I don't know why they call it that instead of just teleportation. Like, dude, you can teleport wherever you want.
Okay, why do they call one girl Ren's power Lapis? You and it's just clairvoyance.
I don't.
Yeah, see,
little brother.
But everybody's power is like very unique, very different. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna see. Probably the most OP-ish power I've seen was from Sui and Sato.
Sui and Sato.
Sui and Sato. They're a couple of twins, and one controls ice and the other controls water.
And so what's interesting actually about these twins is one's alive and one's dead. So they're both twins. One's a boy and one's a girl. And the girl was trying to tell people that it's almost like a split personality type of thing. Where she was like, well, my brother who was supposed to be dead kind of came back. And even though I have the power to control water, she's like, he has the power to control ice. And you see both of them kind of like, it's like a instant type of thing where she's like she'll instantly try to control water, and she's talking to her brother inside of her. She's like, Sota, bam, he'll kind of like jump out and freeze everything, and it's like really kind of crazy. I'm like, wow, that's an interesting mix right there. Okay,
I've never seen something quite like that, but you know, like it's definitely cool. It's definitely cool, and that's why I say she is probably the most interesting. I would say almost OP power if they really like worked it. But like I know so far nobody else is on like an elemental like control all this type of scale.
Yeah, nobody really is. Like I said, and everybody does kind of have a limit with the power. You know, some people, just like with Wayne, he can only teleport certain distances, and everybody can only use their sigil to a certain extent. Like you're not just spamming this 24/7 hours a day all day.
Honestly, I've only seen that affect Kaname. I want to say Akane. It seems like it only affects him though. Like he's the only one I've ever seen get tired with his sigil.
That's almost just like with Ren. She could only use like hers a little bit, piece by piece at a time. So something of like it wears everybody else down in different ways. But even Wang was like, yo, I can't keep spamming this in certain situations. He was like, I can't keep doing it.
But honestly, so when you're going further and further into the anime, you honestly see the character development wise as actually I'm gonna roll it back just a little bit. There's also another power from a chick named Li Zhuzang.
Oh yeah, the
number one like player of Darwin's game. Shenanigans because she's a genjutsu user.
That's not really. Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
a little bit.
And then he said, what's it called? Ren or Ryuji is all like, yeah, her power is like this energy sword illusion thing, and she's like, Ren's all like, actually, that's not her power. She knew how to do that before she even started Darwin's game. He's like, what?
This isn't like the chick had like multiple different abilities. What was her actual power?
I never even saw it. I actually never even like went over it. It was because she's like an assassin. Her whole thing is like she was like an assassin, or her family is like 2,000 years ago. But she herself is just like so OP without even having to try. And you see her like spar with like one of the clan leaders. They're sparring, and she kind of wins with like no problem. And it's just, she herself is just like an intense character. You see why she's the top character or the top fighter in Darwin's game, because they kind of get into like I would say a tussle, let's call it that. And because of certain circumstances and conditions, she kind of like let's just say she wasn't at peak strength. But if she really wanted to, even then, even her at peak strength, she was still kind of tearing up in the battle. But if she went all out, She
Oh yeah,
could
she would be
kill
a
anybody.
monster.
She could kill anybody she wants
So
to.
even though I'm looking up a lot of different stuff, it doesn't really say what her sigil is per se. It just says, the reason only like she was only really interested in Kaname just to see if he would be a candidate for her husband and to bear her children, just because he was strong. But other than that, she did join Sunset Ravens for a special because she lost a bet a little bit, and you guys find out like why and how towards the end of it. But just to kind of hit on the character development real quick for one of the last points of this, uh, you see how Kaname goes from one of the people who's like against killing, like most MCs are.
Once again, kind of like in Gleipnir, how Xyerci? Shuichi, Jesus. How Shuichi is kind of passive and then slowly develops into
yeah, like he's like he keeps getting pushed towards the edge. Like yo, like people keep forcing his hand. You can only keep harming or mentally damage the MC so much until like they hit that breaking point. And in this case, Kaname really did. After he's seen all his friends die, especially towards the end where he's seen Wang kill his last friend, from his high school area. You see Wang kill his last friend, and he was just like,
"I'm done."
Yep, I'm done. And he just told everybody in his little squad, and he was like, kill everybody. And when he made kill everybody, like, he just forged a gun in his hand and just started shooting people. And they was just like, wow.
And remember, loyalty is a big thing. I don't know how he was able to develop it, but with Ryuji, he's all like, Ryuji, I'm going to just go off. I'm going to kill everybody in here. Will you help me? He's like, boss man, you don't even got to ask. I'm right here with you. Just say when. I'm like, bro.
I remember how he got Ryuji on the scene because he was like, oh, well, yeah, we're going to, I'll let you kill Ace or we'll kill Ace together.
Right.
I don't, just destroy the guild or kill Wang. Wang is the one Ryuji wanted to kill because he had killed
his little brother.
Yeah. That was the thing.
Yeah. Wang, by the way, is okay, so Wang considered himself to be like the top king of the game, and I'm gonna hold it there because honestly, I did not like Wang. I didn't like Wang as a character. He was a
little weird, and I give it to him, but he was for the character's development. He was for the MC's development. He was like the first mini boss of the show.
Everybody needs that first villain. Wang was Kaname's first villain, and
sets the tone.
Yes, it definitely does. Quick note before no, go ahead and continue with the character development. Once again, this is like the last anime in Shuko. Shuko's pretty straightforward through the whole thing too. She's basically that top woman and she'll tear up if she has to.
She really is. But she really doesn't have a lot of major character development.
She doesn't.
A lot of everybody else kind of really doesn't. It's just more of the MC you see kind of change throughout. Per se, you see him kind of bring everybody kind of towards his guild that he's bringing up called Sunset Ravens.
I would say Ryuji, if anything, has the most character development. Ryuji kind of was like, get out of my way. I have one set goal. And then when Kaname had him join the group, he was like, all right, I'm for the family. You guys are my people.
For the guild and everything.
Right. Honestly, yeah, that's pretty much all the character development.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's still a pretty decent anime just because you get a different one. What really grabbed me is the different powers and stuff. The story's pretty interesting. You get some behind the scenes, like you're being shown some of the things about Darwin's game that kind of once again kind of pulls you in and makes you start asking questions that you want answers to. Based off of the first season on anime, I started reading the manga, and so I'm giving it a soft 7.5.
A soft 7.5.
Well, I'm gonna give it a soft 7. I'll give it a solid 7. A solid 7 out of 10.
Oh dang! I thought you were gonna give it higher than me.
Oh, I do like it though. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I'm continuing with it. I'm just hoping the MC stays.
He keeps this path of guy who goes from soft or passive to you're pushing me to breaking point. Like you hoped in the second season he keeps his I'm straightforward. If you get in my way, you're taken out.
Yeah, I'm gonna deal with you. And so I
do want to mention there was a little thing that just made me laugh and I wrote it down. They have a website on there called konoazuma.com. Do you know what that stands for?
No, I do not.
If you take off the KO, it is Amazon.com spelled backwards.
Wait, would they buy all the stuff from in the store? Yes. Seriously? How'd you notice that?
I don't know why. I saw it and I was all like, wait a minute. And I spelled it out. I wrote it down, spelled it out. I'm like, spell it backwards. And then just with the OK, the letters OK, if you take those out, it's Amazon.
Wow. So the in-game download game store is actually Amazon, everybody. It just shows how powerful Amazon really is in the world.
Not only that, apparently McDonald's is too, because they have McDarwels.
I don't know how McDonald's affected the Japanese culture so strong, but between McDonald's and Pizza Hut?
Chicken, actually.
Chicken?
They're big fans of chicken.
Really? But I've never seen them say nothing about Popeyes or Churches.
Nah, but if you actually look up on Christmas, you know how Christmas in America, we usually maybe get a turkey, get a Christmas ham or whatever. Theirs is chicken, fried chicken.
Fried chicken?
Apparently Japanese people love fried chicken. They love the heck out of it.
Wow, never would have thought. Never would have thought. But I got Mongolian food right in the refrigerator that I'm going to mess up really bad.
Hey, Mongolian food really do slap though.
It really does.
Oh my gosh, my boy Ed might be mad at me. I remember the one time I said food slaps and he's like, no, only music slaps. Food does not slap. I think it was that. Shout out to Ed.
Oh my God. And
but in general, guys, that's our reviews, yo.
Alright, guys. And yeah, so that's our reviews for today's, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. Darwin's Game and Gleipnir.
Gleipnir, like I said, to me is like an underrated one, but you said that people are picking it up online, so
yeah, if people can really get past the whole weird aspect or ratio part of it, it's a great anime, guys. The mystery of it will pull you in and keep you there.
Darwin's Game, to me, it's pretty decent. It's on Hulu. Check it out there because Hulu's easy platform. And honestly, Hulu got a lot of animes on there.
Hulu got a crap ton, especially Sword Art Online. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, that's my favorite one, BB. Once again, I'll keep saying it. If they was to cut off the whole Gun Guild arc, even Alfheim, and just stick that right in there, like it would have Sword Art Online would have never missed a beat, skipped a step. Like it would have been good. It would have never got all these bad talks about it. Like it had never fell off. Little brother, you gotta get into it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. There's some parts in it that's kind of weird and kind of sucks, but I'm pleased you guys to see my favorite anime kind of make a small comeback in a way.
All right, guys, episode 16 down, baby.
It is down. Shout outs, recommendations?
No shout outs, no recommendations this week. But guys, thank you for rocking with us. If you've been rocking with us for this long, as always, you can listen to us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, believe Stitcher. If not Stitcher, I will get it on Stitcher. The big ones are iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Apple Podcasts.
Leave us a review, 5-star rating, please.
Please tell us what you think about it. You can leave your own reviews in there. Tell us what you think about Gleipnir. Tell us what you think about Darwin's Game.
And if you guys want to reach us, you can hit us up at our Gmails, mavericks@gmail.com. That is MAVREAKS@gmail.com.
Or always you can hit us up at BBEMAV2020@gmail.com. That's BBEMAV2020@gmail.com.
All right, guys. So thank you guys for rocking with us with another great episode of the M.A.V. show.
Thank you. This was our first review, so I think we did pretty decent.
We did great. We did phenomenal.
Let us know how you think we did.
All right, guys. We will see you next week.
Peace.